Welcome to Freedom Academy. If you're going to survive the threats of tomorrow, you have to understand the history of yesterday. For decades, our reality's defense was defined by a clear pantheon of heroes. The Freedom Five were the perfect example. Operating out of Megalopolis, they were a highly resourced vanguard that handled major threats with a unified, straightforward tactical approach. Down in the urban sprawl of Rook City, teams like Darkwatch handled the ground-level syndicates. They operated as a gritty, shadowy network of street-level vigilantes, cleaning up the corruption the big teams couldn't reach. And when global anomalies popped up, the Prime Warden stepped in. Their presence was the first real indicator that the scale of our enemies was expanding well beyond normal human capacity. But despite these different operating zones, this era had a comfortable baseline. You knew who the good guys were, you knew who the bad guys were, and the fights played out right here on a single manageable Earth. Scientists and mages breached a new frontier. Earth wasn't alone, but just one point in an infinite multiverse of parallel dimensions. The rules of physics were rewritten as we dealt with time travel, branching timelines, and inverted realities where villains operated as heroes. Dimensional portals tore open across the globe. Fending off interdimensional invasions and alternate reality threats became a standard part of the daily patrol. The multiverse offered infinite possibilities, but it also meant Earth's defenders were suddenly stretched perilously thin across an infinite number of fronts. Which brings us to the ultimate cataclysm. This is Oblivion, a sentient cosmic entity that arrived with a singular, destructive purpose. Oblivion wasn't trying to conquer us. It intended to collapse every parallel dimension, alternate history, and timeline back into a single point of absolute non-existence. The response required a grand alliance. Earth's heroes, our villains, alien armadas, and alternate reality counterparts had to join forces to fight a universe-spanning war. Legendary heroes gave their lives on the front lines. Powerful sources of magic were permanently consumed, and entire alternate dimensions were completely erased. In the end, the Alliance managed to destroy Oblivion, but its death triggered a massive cosmic shockwave that caused reality itself to implode. Earth survived the war, but the doors between dimensions were sealed shut. The multiverse, as we knew it, was permanently gone. That leaves us in the present day, what we now call Universe 1. The timeline is permanently sealed. There are no parallel dimensions coming to back us up, and there are no time travel do-overs. What happens here is final. The cosmic implosion left deep environmental scars. Major hubs like Megalopolis and Rook City suffered massive structural damage, and the surviving infrastructure is incredibly fragile. But the biggest hazards left behind are Oblivion shards. Fragments of that cosmic entity rained down on Earth. These hyper-dense crystals are highly volatile, mutating organic matter and randomly granting dangerous powers to ordinary citizens. We aren't fighting off coordinated multiversal invasions anymore. Instead, we are managing a localized, highly unpredictable environmental crisis. And the veterans who got us through the war, they're exhausted, recovering from severe injuries, or entirely occupied just trying to patch this broken planet together. The old guard has had to step back. The Freedom Five have rebranded into the Sentinels of Freedom to coordinate global defense, and Paul Parsons retired the legacy mantle, passing it down to his daughter. This has created a massive power vacuum. Opportunistic criminal syndicates and these newly mutated shard villains are moving in, and our emergency services are completely overwhelmed. That is why you are here. You are not backup dancers, and you aren't minor sidekicks. The world is out of options, and you are our absolute first line of defense. The era of relying on legendary gods to swoop in and save the day is over. The survival of Universe 1 now rests entirely on your action. Let's get to work.